He's going to show you something.
All right. Now, you tell us again why Jesus went to the fig tree.
Why Jesus went to the fig tree?
Yeah.
He thought it was a season to get the fruits from it, but he saw no fruit on it.
Let's be honest with each other. All right, let's not try and win an argument here.
No, I'm not winning.
No. Oh, I know you're not. Anyway, let's establish truth here.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did Jesus go to the fig tree in the first place? Why did he? What was his reason for it? What was the purpose of going to that fig tree? Now, you said a statement earlier that I'll allow you to retake back if you don't mind, that Jesus wanted to go to this tree to show the people this, that, the other, whatever. Do you want to take that back, or do you want to maintain that?
No, I want to maintain that.
All right. So if I show you the Bible, it says, and on the morrow, when they would come from Bethany, he was hungry. And seeing a fig tree afar, of having leaves, he came, if haply he might find anything thereupon. So why did he go to the fig tree?
He was what? Hungry.
Yes, but what I'm trying to say...
No, why did he go to the fig tree? Let's do one thing at a time.
Yes, because he was hungry, yes.
Right, so you accept that?
Yes.
Right. And he went to the fig tree to get what? Figs.
Right.
All right.
A fruit then.
No, figs.
It's a fruit.
Not a fruit.
Right.
Figs.
And then he found, when he got there, it was nothing but leaves, for the time of figs was not yet.
Yes.
So Jesus is hungry, and he sees a fig tree, and he goes over to this fig tree to eat some figs. But it's not the season for figs, so obviously there's no figs on the tree. And what does he do? He curses that perfectly healthy tree.
Can you read on from that passage?
And seeing a fig tree of having leaves, he came happy, if happily he might find anything that thereon. And when he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for the time of figs was not yet. And Jesus answered and said unto it, No man eat fruit of thee hereafter forever. And his disciples heard it.
Okay. This is what I'm saying.
So let's understand one thing. This is you now. Let's go back to your original claim. Jesus is God. And you said Jesus is the Father as well.
Yes.
So you've made a heresy there straight away. And now you're claiming that Jesus is a walking Father. Right. Now, I want to know how you can read something like that, seeing Jesus was hungry, had wants he needed to eat.
As man.
And then he comes to a tree that had no fruit.
Yeah.
And he cursed that tree, and for no fault of its own that tree had no figs, and then he denied anybody thereafter to eat figs from this perfectly healthy tree. Yeah? Now you tell me how a knowing God does that, if Jesus is indeed God. Yeah? So you made an initial point. I made the point about the fig tree, and now you're not talking about fig trees anymore for some reason. You've completely left this episode. Yeah? So I'll ask you again, why did Jesus curse a perfectly healthy tree for not having figs when it wasn't the season for figs? Why did he do that?
No, but this is what I'm trying to get to. The Lord did it to show the example of how we are as humans.
But the fig tree was healthy.
1 second.
You would say you're healthy, wouldn't you?
No, the fig tree was healthy because it was in leaf.
Jesus said, I am the vine, we are the branches.
She's preaching now.
Right, no.
No. One second.
He is the branch, we are the vine. I told you, he used that to describe us.
Can I say something about the verse?
No, he used that to describe us.
Can I say something about the verse?
John the Baptist said any tree that don't bear fruit is going to be cut off. No. It's going to be. And who was John the Baptist talking to? He was talking to the Pharisees and the people of the day. And the people there. If you don't repent and give your life to Christ, you're going to be cut off in your sin.
No. A couple of things here. A couple of things here. You appeal to this, the vine business. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is an education for everybody out there because it's not quite mainstream as yet, yeah? I truly believe verse 15, 16 and 17 in the Gospel of John are interpolations, fabrications, personally. Okay. The reason I believe this, because Jesus is talking in John 14 and he says to his disciples, I will not speak much more to you now. Come on, let us leave this place. At the end of 14. And then in 15, 16 and 17, Jesus is doing the longest lecture he's ever done in the whole of the New Testament. And then chapter 18 says, and after Jesus says these words, they prayed and left.
Yes.
14, 15 and 16 do not fit in with Jesus saying, I will not say much more to you now, come on, let us leave. So those 3 verses that have been interpolated in between verse 14 and 18 have no place there. Basically, this is how it should read, for me, from what logically reading. Jesus says, I will not speak much more to you now. Come on, let us leave this place. And after he said these words, he prayed and they left. Because this is when the Jews are coming to arrest him. Yeah? So Jesus knows that. So from there they leave and they go to Kidron Valley and then to the Garden of Gethsemane. Yeah? So the last place that Jesus will sit down doing any lectures about any vines is after saying, I will not speak much more to you now. And even some versions of the manuscripts don't even have the word much. So Jesus says, I will not speak more to you now.
Yeah.
And then what you're saying to support what you've just said now, which doesn't support what you said now anyway, this is a side point.
That's in your...
Well, according to the logic, those 3 verses are not even there. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is this, the original point. The tree, did it have a choice to bear fruit or not? Did it have a choice?
Yeah.
It had a choice.
We've got choice to bear fruit.
A tree.
We have got a choice.
Did the fig tree have choice to have figs on it?
No, we have a choice.
No.
We are the tree.
Right, no.
We are the tree.
Did a fig tree have the choice to bear fruit or not?
I'm not talking about the tree.
No, I am not. I talk about the fig tree first.
No, but I'm talking
Well,
about
let's talk about the fig tree because you're equating the fig tree to us.
Yes,
and I'm
it
showing
is.
you the difference between us.
But you've got a choice whether you can.
But I'm showing you the
life or not.
Agreed.
You've got a choice whether you can accept Jesus or not.
Agreed. So therefore, but the fig tree didn't
Then
have a
either
choice.
blessing or a curse.
Okay, but what you're saying, the fig tree didn't have a choice, and yet it was still cursed. We have a choice to bear
I
fruit.
told you the fig tree is not important. But
No.
You use that as an example.
Yeah, but the example doesn't work. If you're trying to make it work, but it doesn't work, the reason being is
I'm telling you, it
we
does.
are not the same as a fig tree. Why not? Because we can choose to bear fruit or not.
I told you we're like trees. I am the
We're
vine.
not.
We are the
We're not.
branches.
Do you understand the?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand the concept of cause and effect?
No, I don't.
Right. Cause and effect is where nothing that begins to exist happens without a cause. Nothing. Okay. Now, some things are mechanical causes, and some things are conscious causes. So, for example, a fig tree will automatically start producing figs. Yeah, without a choice. As it exists, the fig growing process will exist. Yes. Okay. I'm a human being.
Yeah.
One of my causes is my daughter. Yeah. My daughter wouldn't exist without me.
Yes.
But I can choose when to make that cause occur.
Yes.
Okay. So I am responsible. So my cause, my daughter, or anything else, I'm a conscious cause. I can choose to obey, refuse, and such. Okay. The fig tree is a mechanical cause. As it was created, it doesn't have a choice in any matters.
Yeah.
It just produces figs.
Yeah.
So if the fig tree hasn't any figs, it isn't its fault, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how it was created.
So can I ask you one thing then? Do you believe then that Jesus didn't know that there was no figs on the tree?
Yes, I don't believe he knew there was figs on the tree. Reading the verse, he was hungry. He goes to the tree. He was gutted.
I would say that he did know there was.
Oh, he did know.
Yes, he did know.
So why'd he go to an empty tree?
While the Romans are behind him trying to kill him.
I told you, it's to show an example of how we should be. That's what I'm talking about.
No, you can't say that. Jesus went to the tree. Jesus went to the tree because he was hungry. And they said, well, read the verse. Jesus was hungry. Jesus was hungry.
Yeah.
He saw a fig tree. So he went there to see if he can find some figs. Now, would you go to somewhere to see if you can find some figs if you don't know there's figs on there?
Yeah, but Jesus being God and all-knowing, you think he doesn't know there weren't no figs on there? Come on, I'm asking you.
He's not all-knowing.
He is all-knowing.
Well, if he knew...
But that's what I'm saying, he did it as an example.
Example of what?
For us.
So give me one example of Jesus' all-knowing nature. One example.
Not all-knowing.
You said Jesus is all-knowing?
Give
Give me an example. Give me an example. Does he know the time of the hour?
God.
Does he know
Not as man.
Does he know the time of the hour?
As God.
Does he know the time of the hour? Does he know the day of judgment? One second. Does Jesus know it?
God, yes.
So Jesus doesn't know it.
As man, no, but as God, yes.
What does that mean?
God?
No.
Oh, human. When
You haven't knows or he don't?
In his humanity, he didn't know, but as God, he
Right.
does.
So in his humanity, he knew there's no figs on the tree, yeah?
Of course he knew.
Well, what you just said that he didn't know it as a man. So now you're saying he can switch between divine and thingy nature, and at the same time says by himself he can do nothing.
Just push the button.
When the woman touches him from behind, who touched me? Who touched me?
You think he didn't know who touched? He knew who touched him.
So why did he ask who touched me?
Because he wanted the woman to come. Because remember, she was hiding behind the crowd. He wanted the woman to come and reveal herself.
No.
He could have said, "Woman, it's you that." He could have said, "It's you that touched me."
In Mark,
But he wanted the woman to
I'll tell you
come.
what he did. I'll tell you what he did.
Yeah.
In the Gospel of Mark.
Yeah, he knew.
In the Gospel of Mark, when the woman touched him, he turned and said, "Who touched me?" Right?
Yes.
In the Gospel of Matthew,
Yeah.
he turns and says, "Why do you touch me?" So now he knows. He didn't know in Mark. Now all of a sudden in Matthew he knows. It's called Christology. It's showing how Jesus is slowly being transformed from a basic man into a God by the Gospel of John.
Trying to elevate him.
Because in one time he doesn't know, the next he knows.
That's why you find a lot of verses in John, which is the last gospel.
In Matthew, like for example, you know when he curses the fig tree in Mark, it's the next day. They notice the fig tree is withered, and they say to Jesus, "Oh look, there's that tree you." Forgive me, my sister. Sorry. There's that fig tree. Yeah. In Matthew, the tree withers immediately, showing he's more powerful now. Don't make no sense. And here's the problem. You see, you're misunderstood in the teachings of Jesus. This is the problem. But I don't want to bully you too much. I just want you to reflect on that. Is that enough to reflect upon, please? And be honest with it.
No.
I want you to go to your pastor and ask him. Just reflect on this fig tree story and ask yourself, reflect on it.
Yeah.
Ask, if Jesus is what I think he is, this all-knowing God-man, then seriously, why was he going to a tree to eat figs? And going to an empty tree and then cursing the tree? The cursing the tree is the key, you see. Even if he cursing that poor tree that had done nothing wrong, and this is a healthy tree that will feed people figs for the generations, and he destroyed it, and he cursed that tree for one reason: having no figs.
There's no morality or
But just like I
or
said,
good
he's gonna-
example for
If
us to
you're trying to
follow.
say to me Jesus was perfect,
Story anyway.
that's not perfect.
Yeah, but did you hear what I said though?
Is that perfect?
No, but what I was going to say to you, but did you hear what I said though? You hear what he said? Jesus cursed the tree for having figs.
And was it his
So
fault?
Jesus said anybody
Was
who
it his
doesn't
fault?
bear fruits in their life is giving.
Was it its fault? But it wasn't its fault, was it? So Jesus isn't if Jesus can go and curse a perfectly healthy tree, that would feed people, that is not perfection.
If he was God, 1 second, Hamza. If he was God, he would
Simple.
go to the tree and said, "Bear fruits," and he would bear fruits.
Hold on, but was it not the same Jesus that sat down on the summit of Mount and feed over 5,000 people from 3 fishes and?
You couldn't grow figs off a tree.
Yeah, but did he not multiply? He just prayed over it.
Well,
and multiplied.
okay, here's
this is God. This is Jesus now.
No, wait, here's the problem we have. You're now relying on your scripture to tell you the truth. That's the problem now. You think this happened.
Oh, sorry.
Was there any source outside of the New Testament said 5,000 people were fed? Any source? Non-biblical. Because that's quite miraculous, isn't it?
That is miraculous.
So some historian outside of the New Testament would have recorded this event. Did anyone record an event of 5,000 people being fed with all these miraculous stories and everything you're believing? You weren't born believing this stuff. It's been taught to you, and you've read it. And the question is, why do I believe it?
You know, I'm glad to
There has to be a reason for why you believe
study
it.
his book.
Do you get me?
If you study his book, you would
No,
have
it's a very, very valid point.
Yeah.
Now look at it.
That's what I'm saying, because you have to reflect. You can't just accept things. Look,
you don't study the Quran, you study the Bible.
you can't, like for example, the Hindus believe what their book says, isn't it?
Yeah.
That there was Ganesh and his head cut off and they put an elephant head on it, and they believe all this stuff as if it's real. Now, did you know this? Now, this is one that's going to shock you. There are 15 religions that predate Christianity that speak of a virgin birth on December the 25th.
No, I'm not saying it's
And a crucifixion and raising after 3 days from the dead. Are you aware of that?
He studied the Bible, so he can attack us.
So all these things that Jesus did, they're not original. They've been done in previous religions. The Greeks, the Danes, and all of these things contain crucifixions, piercing with a spear, born December 25th, virgin birth. Yeah? So this is not an original thing. So it's not hard to create this story. Now, when you marry that up with the fact there's no historical records of any of this, you've got to think about it, innit? So reflect. Inshallah. Take care.